stories foretold. The story, the story, the story foretold. The story foretold. The story.
Stories foretold, written by the book of old, constantly lost, bought and sold. It was well known but forgotten by most. Every scripture and chapter has its own soul. Plagiarism, copy and paste, the lies were wrote. Who would have thought the origins of the story was false? But everything in this world comes at a cost, and the price to pay is when you get the hang of it and I can teach you the ropes. There's a circle in your inner circle giving the scope. News travels fast, now everybody knows. But what they don't know is that manipulation took control and a new story was told. But I see right through you, Pinocchio. I'm sensitive to false information. I start to sneeze when someone is talking about me, but that's how I find it. If it's falsely true, then what's the truth behind it? I can give you the assignment. Just like how there's night and day, I wanna know the physics behind it. For me personally, I can't describe it. It's like eating good food without knowing the flavors behind it. There's a beginning to the folk tales. There's an ending and the ending's not up to me. Forever who wrote the story must start to begin and speak. I'm not narrow-minded. I need answers but I can't find it.
The lies they wrote, the stories foretold, the story, the story, the story foretold, the story foretold, the story.
Written by the book of old, lies that they suddenly wrote, tricking younger people into knowledge they don't really even know. Unfortunately, my life is simple, but it's slowly getting old. Let's take a trip down memory lane as we continue this chapter. A young kid smoking for the first time, a lung fog reaction, coughing and coughing, blood spilled on his hands, realizing the damage that he suddenly inflicted, destruction of God's temple that he built with his own hands. A rebel in united, so that sparked to inner conflict. People power hungry, a man gotta reach out his own hand to count up like more bands. Niggas are so mad, they ride around the block and told themselves that he's so mad. And suddenly he's so trash, the music that he dropped, the shit that he done, the albums that he suddenly released are suddenly getting popped. And everybody look at him with sudden jealousy. They wanna kill this nigga for the money and all their envy. But y'all don't realize that God is watching over him. So now all of a sudden he's a God protector, he's a God united. He unite people as one, and you wanna go against him because he's a savior of people that you tried to become. But now all of a sudden you're trying to figure out the story, but the story is kind of written in sideways or different pages. You gotta flip in the right order, or else you won't understand the message. So you gotta understand and correct it before you end up in the lecture.
The lies they wrote, the stories foretold, the story, the story, the story foretold, the story foretold, the story.